So very recently, I was going ahead and looking back at the old Grand Theft Auto 5 2013 trailer, and as well looking back at the old GTA 5 screenshots, and I found something that's kind of strange actually. Like, this doesn't make any sense whatsoever, and I think Rockstar really messed up here, because what I'm about to showcase to you guys right here are some early stuff that Grand Theft Auto 5, or should I say Rockstar, has put in the game that they totally removed, or probably don't even know that they actually did from the past. Now this stuff I'm going to be showcasing are some of the errors that Rockstar has left that I don't think that they even know that they actually did, and I'm going to be showing you guys these errors because this totally changes everything the next time you guys hop on Grand Theft Auto 5. But before we actually go ahead and get into it, let's go ahead and play a game real quick. So the only way for this to actually work for you 100% is, of course, if you guys leave a like on the video, and as well subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and turning on notifications. This will not work for you whatsoever if you don't do that, but if you do, then go ahead and randomly pause the video on one of the things that are being showcased in this wheel right here, and you will go ahead and get 100%. It will work. This only works once, so you can't repeat this, so make sure you guys go ahead and pause the video on whatever the red arrow right there stops on, and you will go ahead and get it 100%. It works. Make sure you guys follow the rules, leave a like, subscribe, and let's go ahead and begin. So like I stated before, this game has a very big secret that I want to go ahead and talk about today. Now, let's go ahead and focus on the promotional wallpapers that Rockstar released before the actual game came out to all of us. And I'm talking about these pictures right here that you normally see when the game is loading. Here we see Simeon, and the other one that we got right here is the other promotional picture of Jimmy flicking out his sister. Now, I really want to go ahead and let you guys know about this because it's quite interesting. Now, in these pictures, there's actually something secret in the sky that I want to go ahead and point out to all of you guys. So for example, right here in the picture with Franklin, there is an airplane. Now, in the next picture right here, we got Amanda doing yoga, and there's a freaking blimp right there in the sky. Now, with this in mind, we're going to move on with the next picture right here that's going to absolutely blow your mind with Trevor. Now, we all know this familiar picture right here of Trevor behind the O'Neill brothers house right here with all the drugs that he had to go ahead and burn down. I'm pretty sure you guys already played this mission, but anywho, there's something in the sky that I really want to go ahead and talk about. Holy snap, I didn't notice there was a gnome right there. But anyway, back on track. Right here, we're going to be pointing out a couple of things. Now, what I want you guys to do is look around in the sky and tell me 3 things that you see automatically. Now, if you guys haven't found out, we're going to be talking about each one of them. Now, the first thing that I want to point out is right here in the sky, we have a bird. Is there anything mysterious about that whatsoever? No, but Rockstar uses that as an indication to show off what's right next to it, which is basically like this little cloud going horizontally, which basically happens when a plane passes by, or a jet, which is pretty much normal. No, that's not the secret thing that I'm talking about, just in case you guys are like, oh, what is that? But what I'm going to be pointing out is this thing right here. Now, we talked about how jets or airplanes actually have like a horizontal line when it's moving, but how come this one right here kind of goes vertically? And isn't it funny how this line right here is actually right above Mount Chiliad? Now, if we go back to the game, there is absolutely no line there whatsoever, but right there in the background, like I stated before, that behind us is Mount Chiliad. Now, exactly what is this line and why is it going in this direction? Well, obviously that means that something is falling from the sky and is going towards Mount Chiliad or passing right behind it. Now, we all know the only thing in the game that actually falls from the sky is possibly a UFO. Now, there are UFOs in the game, you guys already know this, not to mention the one that's right above Mount Chiliad when you actually go ahead and beat the game at 100% and come here at 12 o'clock in the morning. Now, my question is this the same UFO from the promotional wallpaper right here, right next to Trevor, or is this a different UFO? Well, based on how the actual UFO is going towards and not landing exactly in the same spot where Mount Chiliad, the top of it of course, is at, I strongly disbelieve that this is actually the same UFO. Now, I know exactly where this UFO is at as of right now, which basically supports my point that this is actually a UFO and not some random thing found in the sky. So what exactly we need to go ahead and do is we need to travel all the way towards the location of where the UFO was heading at, which of course is right here by the ocean, and we're gonna need to go ahead and dive down deep down below in the water surface until we reach this spot in the map. Now, what exactly are we going to be fighting here? Well, of course, a sunken UFO. Now, if we keep going down below, you guys are going to be looking at it right above here. Now, it's kind of funny because this is the same UFO that everyone literally found the day when Grand Theft Auto 5 was released. This UFO isn't anything new. Everyone pretty much knew this, but the question was, how exactly did this UFO end up here? Well, going back to the main point of the video, what I was talking about before, this line right here is the UFO that's sunken in the bottom of the ocean. This is where it was headed. There are UFOs in the game, and it looks like the people or the aliens that were actually controlling this lost control, and they ended up in the ocean of Grand Theft Auto 5, which is right here in this location, which pretty much tells us that this is where the place ended up at. This is the sunken UFO. This is the spot where it was coming towards. And oh my freaking god, everything is now connecting. Now we know exactly where this UFO came from. It's a UFO from the sky. It lost control and it went ahead and crashed to the bottom of the Grand Theft Auto 5 ocean. Now everything makes a little bit more sense. Now that we solved this Easter egg, literally 3 years after the game came out, we finally put the case to rest. Where did this UFO come from? From space, and it was crashing down, as we can see from this picture right here. It's pretty interesting how things go ahead and connect if we go ahead and go back towards old things that we really didn't think was actually something connected towards the main game. But yes, it is. It actually is. I can't believe this is actually something that we all missed out completely, man. Another interesting thing about this Easter egg right here is the fact that Rockstar actually gave us a hint about this in the very first DLC of GTA 5 with the release of this van right here. Now, if we pay attention to the artwork of this ocean shark picture right here, you get to notice right there all the way in the back there is a sunken UFO with the lights turned on, and there's actually another one right about here. Now that just points out the fact that I was talking about earlier. Rockstar actually places things in the game that no one really understands why they actually did, but if you actually connect the Easter eggs together, they all make sense perfectly. Now another question that a lot of people actually have on their mind when they actually see this picture right here is they question why the lights of the UFO is actually turned on. Now, since this UFO just literally crashed to the bottom of the ocean, you know, there's air bubbles, and when something actually goes ahead and dives down to the water or ocean or something like that, like a car, then air bubbles go ahead and rise up to the surface of the water. So these air bubbles is coming out from the UFO that just crashed, and the light that's turned on is the light of the UFO that just, you know, literally just crashed to the bottom of the ocean. And then days upon days of time passing by, the UFO slowly started rusting. It started to look more shittier and shittier as months and months passed by. And then the UFO that we have right now is of course all rusted up, beat up, and not working anymore. And since the light is turned off, that pretty much tells you the power of the UFO is totally not there anymore. But wait, there's still one last thing that we need to go ahead and not forget about. If something actually died inside the UFO, there must be some sort of body. I mean, that only makes sense. Now, where exactly is the location of the body of the thing that died inside the UFO? Now, are you guys ready for this? Are you about to get your freaking mind blown away? Well, here is the alien that washed all the way from the ocean right here to North Yankton. Yup. Everything now connects together perfectly. Hope all of you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, support it by dropping that blue thumbs up, and as well subscribe to the channel if you guys are brand spanking new. See you guys later. Peace out and stay safe, everybody.